It's really, really wonderful. I cannot say in this current times, whatever we are getting, it's like nectar, whatever we can grab. And having you with us is like super beautiful. And we're really looking forward to hearing about Srimati Radharani from you, Mataji. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us your associational blessings.
Okay. So should we have kirtan?
Do you want to lead? Because I thought we want to hear your voice.
Okay. So what, 10 minutes or?
Yeah, whatever you're comfortable with. We are fine. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no limit. Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jaya Radha Madhava Ganja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Ganja Vihari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivardhari Gopi Jana Ballava Girivardhari Yashoda Nandana Brajajanna Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Brajajanna Ranjana Jamana Jira Banachari Jamana Jira Banachari Jaya Radha Mara Ganja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jayam Shripad Paraman Sabharika Jakachaya Sutta Sadashi Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. All glories to the Asama devotees. All glories to the Asama devotees. All glories to the Asama devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. We won't go on the PowerPoint now.
Okay.
It will be after the class.
And may I also add two more things I forgot to mention about Mataji is that she loves to read a lot, and she's also a writer. She has written books which are like simplified versions of Srimad Bhagavatam, and along with a lot of pictures in them. So it's a very, very wonderful book, especially for children. Also, Mataji has been is very attached to her wonderful, beautiful, adorable deity Giriraj, whom we would like to get darshan of at the end of this lecture.
Okay, I'll bring him at the end. I'll bring him.
All right. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay.
Over to you now.
All right. Okay, so Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bangam Langate Gidimya Kipantam Monday Sigurun Tinataminam Om Magyana Timranda Saganan Shara Sharakaya Chakshumiritam Yena Tasamai Shri Gurave Namaha. Today we would like to hear about Srimati Radharani. Yeah, it's not Radhashtami and it's not Kartik, but anyway, I guess every day is a good day for glorifying Radharani. So I will start with a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, 4th chapter, verse 89. There are some words, some Sanskrit words that describe Srimati Radharani. Otaev Sharva Puja Paramadevata Sarva Palika Sarva Jagatera Mata. Radha is Paramadevata, Supreme Goddess, and she's worshipable for everyone. She is the protectress of all, and she is the mother of the entire universe. So Paramadevata, there in Hindu philosophy, there are so many goddesses, but she is Param. Just like there is Brahman, but Krishna is Param Brahman. Radharani, there are so many devatas. Radharani is Param Devata, Supreme Goddess. She's worshipable for everyone. Okay, we should all, Sarva Puja, everyone should worship Radharani. She's a protectress. She protects everyone too. Of course, we especially experience that in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, how she protects us. And she is mother of the entire universe. Radharani is our mother. A mother sacrifices everything for the benefit of the child. One time, I was giving a seminar in Nepal and describing how Radharani is our mother. And somebody asked the question, what about Durga? Isn't she our mother? Because they worship Durga and Shiva a lot up there in the Himalayas. So, because that's where they live, Durga and they live at Kailash, which is close to Nepal. So I said, yes, Durga is the mother of our body, but Radharani is the mother of our soul. So yes, and Durga is simply an expansion of Radharani anyway. All the goddesses are Radharani's expansion. So Krishna, he's the object of love, and Radharani is the supreme lover and compassionate nature, the origin of all love. She's a mercy incarnation of Krishna. And if you study Guru Tattva, the spiritual master is either representative of Nityananda or Srimati Radharani. They are the mercy representatives of Krishna. So how does Radharani, how does her mercy expand? She expands as all the gopis. She expands as all the wives of Krishna in Dwaraka. She expands as Lakshmi, wife of Narayan. And of course, as she is there, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna combined. So when I was giving a lecture on Radhashtami in the Gurukul in Vrindavan, one little boy asked me a question. Did Radharani go to Gurukul? I said, well, not exactly, but she did learn all the 64 arts. So how did she learn? Bhagavatam explains in second canto, third chapter, verse 24. And the verse says, I offer my respectful obeisances to Srila Vyasadeva, incarnation of Vasudeva, who compiled the Vedic scriptures. The pure devotees drink up the nectarian transcendental knowledge dropping from the lotus-like mouth of the Lord. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is quoted in the purport. He says, the nectar from the mouth of Krishna is transferred to his different consorts. And they learn the finer, this is how they learn the fine arts of music, dance, dressing, decorations, and all such things relished by the Lord. This is in the purport, second canto. Such music, dance, and decorations enjoyed by the Lord are certainly not anything mundane, because the Lord is addressed as para, or transcendental. This knowledge is unknown to the forgotten conditioned soul. Srila Vyasadeva, incarnation of the Lord, thus compiled the Vedic literatures to revive the lost memory of the conditioned souls about their eternal relation with the Lord. One should therefore try to understand the Vedic scriptures, or the nectar transferred by the Lord to his consorts in the conjugal humor, from the lotus-like mouth of Vyasadeva or Shukadeva. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is coming from Krishna's mouth, and it's going to the mouth of Radharani, it's going to the mouth of Shukadeva, to Vyasadeva, and it's coming to us now. So in the purport it says, the pure devotees of the Lord can equally relish the nectar in the form of profound philosophical discourses and in the form of kissing by the Lord in the rasa dance, as there is no mundane distinction between the two. So isn't that interesting? Radharani didn't go to Gurukul. She learned from a different method. And that's how they learn in the spiritual world, the gopis anyway. That's how the gopis learn everything. And so Radharani is the original teacher. She's teaching us pure love of Krishna. When Radharani was born, she was very beautiful, but she was born blind. Everyone's crying. Oh, such a beautiful girl, but she's blind. Why was she born blind? Because back in Goloka Vrindavan, before Krishna came, Krishna and Radharani were discussing about coming to earth, and Radharani said, I don't want to see anyone else except you first. And so she said, I will go, but only if you're the first person I see. So she was born blind, but then Krishna and his family got an invitation to Radharani's house. And so Krishna came, he climbed down from Yashoda's lap, went to Radharani's room, and climbed into her bed, touched her eyes. Immediately, she opened her eyes to take darshan of her beloved Krishna. After 7 months, when she was 7 months old, the Annaprashan ceremony for Krishna, while everybody was talking, Radharani went and took the remnants from Krishna's plate. So they started from a very young age. They started. So I'm going to read another verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi 4. These are all words describing Radharani. Devi Krishna Mayi Prokta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mayi Sarva Kanti Sammohini Para. The transcendental goddess Srimati Radharani is the direct counterpart of Lord Krishna. She's a central figure for all goddesses of fortune. She possesses all attractiveness to attract the all-attractive Krishna. And she is the primeval internal potency of the Lord. So Krishnamai is the name for Radharani. It means one who sees within and without only Krishna. She sees Krishna wherever she glances. Or another meaning is that she's identical with Krishna. She is Krishna also, because she has the love for Krishna. She has the embodiment of Krishna's love. Energy of Krishna is identical with Krishna. So she always thinks of Krishna within and without, always remembers only Krishna wherever. If someone only remembers Krishna, wherever he goes and whatever he sees, he's called Krishnamai. Krishnamai. And since Krishna's personality is full of love, his loving potency, Radharani, none different from him, is called Krishnamai. So then there's another verse, Krishna vancha putti rupa kare aratane, ate radhika nam purane vakane. Her worship, aradhana, consists of fulfilling desires of Krishna. So if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you'll find this word aradhana in many, many verses hidden in Srimad Bhagavatam. Even the 8th canto, in different cantos, you find aradhana. Oh yeah, Radha's there somehow, hidden. And so, but in the 10th canto, Shukadeva actually did say Radharani's name, but again in this way, Aradhana. When Krishna left the rasa dance, that's why Shukadeva mentioned Radharani, because she worshipped Krishna very specially. Therefore, Govinda, being so pleased, brought her to a lonely spot, leaving us behind. Other gopis said that. Yeah. So she is the queen of bhakti. And also it's very interesting to know that she's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Did you know? She's in Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, verse 13. Mahatmanastu mamparta daivim prakritim ashitaha daivi prakriti. She's daivi prakriti. She is the internal energy. And that's why Prabhupada explains that she can protect us. The Mahatmas, they take shelter under the protection of the Daivi Prakriti. In Nectar of Devotion, Srila Prabhupada quotes this verse from Gita and says, this is Radharani. She's Daivi Prakriti. And the Mahatmas take shelter under her protection. So that's why we chant Hare Krishna. We chant Radharani's name first, not only Krishna, 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 we chant Radha Krishna, Hare Krishna. First, we have to take shelter of the energy, Radharani. So Prabhupada, in a lecture, he said, Vrindavan, they chant Radha Krishna, Jai Radhe. So if we take shelter of these Daivi Maya, Radharani, she'll give us intelligence. In such a way, we can take shelter of Krishna perfectly. So she will help us by giving us intelligence. And then, Bhajanti Ananyamana, so then we simply serve Krishna. That is the only thing. So she's in charge of devotional service. When I was Pujari in Calcutta, Sri Prabhupada would often give lecture about the deity worship, praising the deity worship. And one time he said, this deity worship is directly under the control of Srimati Radharani. So Radharani is in charge of the deities. So if you're doing some service for the deities in the temple, you are under protection of Srimati Radharani. Good for you. So that's what it says in Nectar of Devotion. To perform devotional service means to follow in the footsteps of Radharani. So this is in the first chapter, Nectar of Devotion. Devotees in Vrindavan put themselves under the care of Radharani in order to achieve perfection in devotional service. So devotional service is not an activity of the material world. It is directly under the control of Radharani. Gita, it says. So then he quotes Bhagavad Gita. And because devotional service, we are taking shelter of Radharani, internal potency, that attracts even Krishna. So in Nectar of Devotion, in the chapter 22, the quality of Krishna, compassion, Prabhupada says, instead of offering obeisances to Krishna directly, devotees offer obeisances to his compassionate nature. Actually, because Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead, it's very difficult to approach him. But the devotees, taking advantage of his compassionate nature, represented by Radharani, always pray to Radharani for Krishna's compassion. So later on, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Krishna enchants the entire world. But Radha enchants even him. Therefore, she is the supreme goddess, even over Krishna. Now there's, again in Chaitanya Charitamrita, more names of Radharani. Govinda Nandini Radha Govinda Mohini Govinda Sarvasva Sarvakanta Shiromani. Radha is the one who gives pleasure to Govinda. She's also enchantress of Govinda, the be-all and end-all of Govinda, and crest jewel of all his consorts. So let's see what it says. In Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 15th chapter, Prabhupada also talks about Radharani. It is said the Lord's beauty is so enchanting, it defeats hundreds and thousands of cupids. Therefore, he's called Madana Mohan. And it's described, he sometimes becomes mad after the beauty of Radharani. Poets describe that under those circumstances, although Lord Krishna is Madana Mohan, he becomes Madana Daha, enchanted by the beauty of Radharani. Actually, the Lord's beauty is super excellent, surpassing even Lakshmi in Vaikuntha. Devotees of the Lord in Vaikuntha planets want to see the Lord as the most beautiful. But devotees in Gokul or Krishna Loka want to see Radharani more beautiful than Krishna. So when I was Pujari, we were told, make more Radharani more beautiful than Krishna. We were addressing Radha Govinda. And so that's how it is in the spiritual world. In Vaikuntha, Narayani is more beautiful, but in Goloka, Radharani is more beautiful than Krishna. So let's see what the purport says. Prabhupada says, the Lord, being Bhakta Vatsala, one who wants to please his devotees, assumes such features so devotees like Lord Brahma, Shiva, and other demigods may be pleased. So the 4 Kumaras, this was their darshan of Lord Krishna when they first became devotees. They were attracted to Narayan. Now, how did Krishna get the name Madana Mohan? There is a story behind it. One time Cupid came to Krishna asking for the benediction that he could bewilder Krishna's devotees. But Krishna said, yes, come to the Rasa Leela. So many gopis will come. Many of them are newcomers. Surely you'll be able to bewilder someone there. So after Cupid left, Krishna began to worry. He began to have second thoughts. So he confided to Srimati Radharani, I think I need your help here. Cupid's coming. You know, some of those gopis might be influenced by lust. They're new. Radharani assured Krishna, don't worry. I'll take care of all of it. So then came the night of Rasa Leela. Cupid came with his arrows of sound, form, taste, touch, and smell. Krishna blew on his flute, and all the young gopis arrived. As they began the dance, Radharani expanded her Hladini Shakti and touched everyone's heart with pure bhakti. As she touched Cupid's heart, he became bewildered, dropped his bow, and developed great attraction for the beauty of Krishna. So Krishna's Leela went on without disturbance from Cupid, and he became Madana Mohan. Yes, Radharani is supreme. So Prabhupada in a lecture said that Radha and the gopis, they're on the same level, but the gopis know Radharani is a better worshiper than us. So their only business is how to take Radharani and join her with Krishna. This is the Vaikuntha understanding. They're not envious, oh, Krishna loves Radharani so much. No, they want to make Krishna happy. And that's how to make Krishna happy. And that's another reason why when Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Mathura, the gopis were unhappy because they knew that Krishna, the women of Mathura could not please Krishna as much as they could. So they were unhappy because Krishna would be unhappy. You know, that's why they were also suffering because of that. Now, there's a verse in 6th Canto, 19th chapter about Lakshmi, which will help us understand also about Radharani. Lakshmi is described the reservoir of all spiritual qualities, and Narayan manifests and enjoys the qualities. In fact, Narayan is the enjoyer of everything. Narayan lives as supersoul of all living entities, and the goddess of fortune is the form of their body, senses, and minds. So our body, sense, and mind is an expansion of Lakshmi. Did you know that? Yes. So if that is so, what should we do with our body, senses, and mind? It's the expansion of Lakshmi. Give it to Krishna. Let's give it to Krishna. Use it for Krishna. Yeah. So our senses are expansion of Lakshmi or Radharani. Krishna is the enjoyer. So when we chant, we're offering our senses, mind, and intelligence to Krishna. So I would like to show you something here on Radharani's lotus feet. There is a mark. I don't know if you can see. It's up here on this right here. It's a sacrificial altar. Yeah, I put it there. Sacrificial altar. Now, what does that mean? It has different meanings. So the sins of those who meditate on their feet are burned up as if on the altar of sacrifice. So if you meditate on Radha's lotus feet, Krishna's lotus feet, your sins are burned up. Now, second of all, the universe is nourished by brahmanas offering fire sacrifices. So those who offer their minds in sacrifice to Radharani's feet stimulate universal nourishment that affects all of creation. Now, the third and my favorite meaning is this. This universe is the form of Krishna. And the offering is the form of Radha. So when you offer something of this universe to Krishna, you are joining Radha and Krishna on the sacrificial altar. You're bringing Radha and Krishna together. So that is also there in the holy name. So Radharani teaches how to love Krishna without any motive. The Shikshastika last prayer. You may make me brokenhearted by not seeing you, or you may kick me, but I still love you. So when Krishna left the Rasa dance, the gopis went mad. They were asking the trees and creepers, have you seen Krishna? Have you seen Krishna? And then after that, the next thing they started doing was imitating Krishna's pastimes. One was Putana, one was the baby Krishna, one was lifting Govardhan Hill. And so then the third thing, they went even deeper than that. They completely identified with Krishna. And those who are playing Krishna thought they are Krishna. Yes, I'm Krishna. They lost their identities, actually, and so much thinking of Krishna. And finally, what was the last thing they did? They started chanting Hare Krishna. And in that separation, if you read Krishna book, chapter 31, you see the gopis, they were just chanting Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada lectures on his first lecture on chanting Hare Krishna. He said, these three words, Hara, Krishna, and Rama, are the transcendental seeds of the Mahamantra. The chanting is a spiritual call for the Lord and his energy to give protection to the conditioned soul. This chanting is exactly like the genuine cry of a child for its mother's presence. Mother Hara helps the devotee achieve the Lord Father's grace, and the Lord reveals himself to the devotee who chants this mantra sincerely. No other means of spiritualization is effective in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy. It's Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So when we chant the holy name, Mother Hara, Radharani, brings us to Krishna, offers us to Krishna, and he accepts us, and we get the mercy. So I'd just like to tell you one story from Vrindavan. There's a place called Shiva Kori, where there's a wonderful temple of Lord Shiva, Rameshwar. And there's a small lake just close to that temple. 5,000 years ago, a jackal was drinking water from that lake. You know the story. So among animals, jackals are not respected. They are So many animals are glorified: eagles, panthers, hawks, lions, tigers, penguins. If you're beautiful, you dance like a peacock or sing like a cuckoo bird, or, but nobody is glorified as being a jackal. So they are not very glorified animals, like a scrawny wild dog, generally very dangerous. So, and the jackal eats dead corpses. So this jackal was drinking water. And because they're not respected, some children saw it and started laughing at the jackal, running after it and beating it with sticks. They were beating, and the jackal was crying and weeping in pain. They kept beating, and the jackal somehow or other rolled up on the ground and ran away. And the children ran after it and were throwing stones. And then the jackal found a hole in the ground, jumped in the hole, and burrowed itself in the hole. The children were laughing and playing, and they really wanted to make this jackal suffer. They were yelling names into the hole, and then they made a fire at the entrance. And they wanted to burn the jackal out so they could beat it more. And the jackal was screaming in pain. Just at that time, Radha and her gopi friends happened to be walking some distance. This is when they were on this earth. And she felt compassion. She told her friend Lalita, no one should be suffering like this. Go bring that person to me. So Lalita ran and saw the children waiting at the hole, and she chased the children away, and she put out the fire, and she reached out in the hole with her hands and pulled out the jackal. And she brought the jackal to Radharani. The jackal bowed down at Radharani's feet, and Radharani knelt down and petted her on the head and accepted her as her own eternal servant. Then she gave that jackal prema bhakti, the ultimate perfection. Now, there is a symbolism of the story. The jackal represents us, the fallen conditioned soul in illusion. Actually, we are pure spirit. We're part of God, Satchidananda, but somehow or other we're identifying with these jackal-like material bodies. It's embarrassing for our soul. So the children, they're the threefold miseries of material existence. Adhyatmika, your own body and mind. Adidaivika, miseries of nature. Too much much cold, earthquakes, tsunamis, rain, drought. And adibhautika, miseries caused by other living beings, people, enemies, insects, COVID, whatever. So, and the fire, the whole represents material existence. The fire is the burning fire of material existence. Samsara davana lalita loka. So that's like a forest fire. And the jackal's cry is the humble calling out for the mercy of Srimati Radharani. When we chant her holy name with that sincerity, she will give us her heart. So there is hope for everyone. And the simple means is sincerely chant Hare Krishna. So I would just like to end this lecture with chanting before we go on to the PowerPoint. And I would just like to chant the holy name 3 times, the Maha Mantra 3 times. And this time, I want you to do something different. Emphasize Hare. Every time you say Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare, okay? So I'll chant it 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare, Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare, Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare, Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Hare, Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare, Hare. Okay, now we'll go to the PowerPoint. So, yeah, you're sharing your screen. How do I get over there? Okay, I move my, okay, now I see. All right, so here is Radha and Krishna. We were just chanting their names. Now they have appeared before us in Vrindavan with the peacocks and the Jamuna River. And it looks like it's moonlight here. That must be the night of the Rasa dance. Okay, let's go to next. Next, can you, yeah. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhana Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priya. I offer respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold, and who is the queen of Vrindavan. You are the daughter of King Rishabhana, and you are very dear to Lord Krishna. Okay, next. When there is confusion or difficulty, or we want happiness, where do we take shelter? Food, sleep, entertainment, family and friends? Next. To fulfill our desires, do we take shelter of our intelligence, creativity, power, anger, humility, or humility and surrender to Krishna's will? Next. Everyone is under the shelter of Krishna's energy. Do we want to be under the shelter of the spiritual energy of Radharani or material energy of Durga? Next. Radha and Krishna are one in their identity. For the sake of pleasure pastimes, they separate themselves eternally. Next. Srimati Radhika is the transformation of Krishna's love. Next. She is his internal energy called Adini that gives Krishna pleasure and nourishes his devotees. She is identical with Lord Krishna, for she embodies the metals of love. The energy of Lord Krishna is identical with him. Next. Mahatmanas tumam parta daivim prakatim ashita bhajan yananyamanaso gyata bhutta dimavyam. So this is the Gita 9:13. The Daivi Prakriti or divine energy is Srimati Radharani. Next. What are the benefits to taking Radharani's shelter? What is the procedure for taking shelter of Radharani? There's a general procedure that we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, and there's specific activities like deity worship, prayers, and different things. Okay, next. What happens when we take shelter of Srimati Radharani? This looks like New York Temple here. Prabhupada, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Next. We get protection if we take shelter. Although we have got Krishna's qualities still, sometimes we fall down. So we require protection. Therefore we chant Hare Krishna, not alone Krishna. First of all, take shelter of Krishna's energy, Daivi Maya, Radharani. And now when they chant Radha Krishna, Jai Radhe, the general address is Radhe, like that. Next. We get intelligence to make spiritual advancement. If we take shelter of Daivi Maya Radharani, then she will give us intelligence in such a way we can take shelter of Krishna perfectly. Next. Devotees in Vrindavan put themselves under the care of Radharani in order to achieve perfection in their devotional service. Next. Oh, there's Radharani's lotus feet. You can see the sacrificial altar to the left, on the left foot that we see on the left, and it's the leftmost at the top. And there's Govardhan Giriraj next to the sacrificial altar. And there's a beautiful chariot there, and that will take us in the right direction if we go on the chariot of Radharani's lotus feet. We'll go in the direction back to Godhead. He who has grasped hold of the lotus feet of Radha with great care obtains the lotus feet of Krishna, which are like priceless jewels. And see on the right side, there's looks like a flower plant. That's actually herbs. She's the goddess of herbal medicine. The original doctor is Radharani, but she cures not only material disease, she cures a spiritual disease too. If we have material, the disease of lust. Next. Oh, there she is. There is her lotus feet. We're not supposed to see them anymore, I heard, but we're still seeing them somehow or other. Okay, next. Advance quickly. So another thing, if we surrender to Radharani, we will advance quickly. In Vrindavan, they always speak of Radharani because they have taken shelter of Radharani to approach Krishna easily. Diving Prakritim Ashita. You take shelter of Radharani directly. She will help you to approach Krishna very soon. Next. How do we take Radha's shelter? We need to serve the mission of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. They reveal how to take shelter of Srimati Radharani and mercifully give us that shelter. Next. We can achieve Krishna consciousness only by the Lord's compassion. His compassionate nature is Radha. When Krishna takes on that compassionate nature of Radha, he appears as Lord Chaitanya. Next, we become attached to Lord Chaitanya through his Sankirtan movement, chanting Hare Krishna and preaching. That is the yoga for this age. Next, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. My dear Lord and spiritual energy of the Lord, kindly engage me in your service. I am now embarrassed with this material service. Please engage me in your service. Next. We serve in Lord Chaitanya's mission under the direction of Guru, who explains to us the life and teachings of the 6 Goswamis. So this is Rupa Goswami. Srila Prabhupada had a vision. We understand Radharani from the 6 Goswamis, the instructions in their books, an example of their lives. So nectar devotion, nectar of instruction. Next. Rupa and Sanatan reveal the glories of Radha and Krishna and how to take their shelter. Next. This is Sri Narottam Das Thakur is giving us the direction how we can reach the highest perfectional stage of associating with Radha and Krishna. So this is Prabhupada's purport on Gauranga Walite Habe. By surrendering to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu will be pleased. And by his being pleased, we shall be free from material desires. And when material desires are no more, then we shall be able to enter Vrindavan. After entering Vrindavan, when we are ready to serve the 6 Goswamis, then we can come to the platform to understand pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Next. When we take shelter of Srimati Radharani, what do? Sattatam kityantamam yatantas chadita vadhanamashanda shamam bhaktya nityukta upasate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So this is Gita, verse 14, 9:14. Next. When we take shelter of Radharani, we worship her deity form by seeing her, decorating her, cooking for her, chanting for her. Next. We can pray to Radha. Here's Prabhupada's lecture. Today is the auspicious day of Radharani's appearance, so we should offer Pushpanjali and pray to Radharani that Radharani, kindly be merciful and tell about me to your Krishna. To your Krishna. Krishna is yours. Krishna, Radha Krishna. Krishna is not independent. Krishna is Radharani's property. So you have to approach Krishna through Radharani. Next. We should worship Radharani first. That is our business. Instead of offering directly one flower to Krishna, you just put it in the hands of Radharani. My mother Radharani, Jagannatha, if you kindly take this flower and offer it to Krishna. Oh, Radharani says, oh, you have Radha flower. Next. We can hear of Radharani's qualities. In the morning, her body is bathed in nectar of compassion. In the afternoon, nectar of youth. And the evening, in the nectar of luster itself. Next. Her ornaments embody the natural symptoms of ecstasy. Trembling, tears, jubilation, stunning, perspiration, faltering of the voice, bodily redness, madness, and dullness. In this way, her entire body is bedecked with these 9 different jewels. Next. Radharani said, Krishna has nicely composed songs and plays on his flute wearing such nice garments and garlands. He has dressed himself in such an enchanting way. He is wonderfully at the topmost height of artistic craftsmanship. Next. Next. When Srimati Radhe was singing about Krishna's glory, she enchanted all her friends in such a way that they became stone-like and dull. At the same time, the nearby stones began to melt away in ecstatic love. Next. Srimati Radharani singing about Krishna's glories. Next. Srimati Radharani said, my dear friend, if I cannot hear of the glorious activities of Krishna, it's better for me to become deaf. And because I am now unable to see him, it would be good for me to be a blind woman. Next. In the autumn full moonlight, Krishna called the gopis to dance with him by playing his flute. Tai tai ta 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 ta. Gopis stamped their feet and raised their arms, swaying from left to right as they moved around the circle. Strung on the thread of Krishna's beads within their hearts, they moved their feet to ta ta ti ta. Next. During Rasa dance, one form of Krishna was between every two gopis, but on the side of Srimati Radharani, there was only one Krishna. Although this was the case, Srimati Radharani still manifested disagreement with Krishna. Next. There's Radharani alone with Krishna. When Radharani was first introduced to Krishna, she felt very bashful. One of her friends addressed her in this way, my dear friend, you have already sold yourself and all your beauty to Govinda. Now you should not be bashful. Please look upon him cheerfully. One who has sold an elephant to another person should not make a miserly quarrel about selling the trident which controls the elephant. Next. There they are together. How we like to see them, sitting under the desire tree in Vrindavan. Next. If you give me one more laddu, then I shall be pleased to give you my blessings, so your friend Radharani will be very much pleased with you. So there's Krishna's friend, the Brahmin. The Brahmin is joking with him. Next. Her eyes defeat the attractive features of the eyes of the Chakori bird. When one sees the face of Radharani, he immediately hates the beauty of the moon. Her body complexion defeats the beauty of gold. Thus, let us all look upon the transcendental beauty of Srimati Radharani. Next. Krishna tells his friend, my dear friend, what a wonderful thing it is that since I have seen the beautiful lotus eye of Srimati Radharani, I have developed a tendency to spit on the moon and the lotus flowers. So they are supposed to be the most beautiful things. Next. By taking shelter of divine energy, Radharani, one achieves these five things. Protection from fall down, intelligence to achieve Krishna's shelter, Krishna's lotus feet, spiritual perfection, quick spiritual advancement. So that's a review of what we just heard. Next. Therefore, let us learn about the love between Radha and Krishna and the nature of Radharani from Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya, and the six Goswamis. Chant Hare Krishna, serve Radha in her deity form, pray to her, meditate on her qualities and pastimes. Next. Mahatmanas tumam parta daivim prakate mashitaha vajantyananya manaso jityata bhutademavyam osanapita. Those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Next. Radha Krishna Bol 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 Hare Shavai. Everyone chant, 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 Radha Krishna. So that's the end, right? Correct? Yes. So we will stop here. If anyone has some questions, you can ask at this point.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Very wonderful class, Mataji. I enjoyed it. Mataji, what is the meaning of Radha, and can you please elaborate the glories of her name?
Yeah, it means to worship. Radha, it's coming from the word aradhana in Sanskrit. So it means to worship, to offer service, to perform devotional service. So she's in charge of that, and that's what her name means. And so that's Aradhana. Now, another way to understand the meaning of her name is if you commit offenses is aparadha, against Radha, aparadha, aparadha. So it goes two ways. If you worship Krishna, it's Radha, Aradhana. And if you make offenses, it's aparadha, against Radha. So be careful. Always worship Krishna. It means the best worshiper of Krishna also. And it means to worship Krishna. Yes. Okay, anybody else have a question?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please
Oh,
accept
hi,
my
Bo.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for a wonderful lecture. Mataji, so it seems like taking shelter of Radharani seems to be the most important thing.
Yes, it's very important. And
So,
we do that when we chant Hare Krishna mantra.
Okay. So Krishna also asks us in Bhagavad Gita to take shelter of him or surrender unto him.
Yes.
And Prabhupada mentions that surrendering unto him means surrendering to his instructions.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems to be sorry, Mataji. They just seem to be, at least for me, personally speaking, it seems very difficult to surrendering to Krishna.
Yeah.
Now, how difficult is it to surrendering to Radharani?
Well, it's easier than surrendering to Krishna because she's the compassionate nature of Krishna. And it's easier than surrendering, like we have a process, we surrender to Guru. Guru is representative of Krishna's mercy. It can be either Radharani or Nityananda, who's the most merciful. So by worshiping the Guru, then we can worship Nityananda and Radharani. So it's easier to worship the mother. She's the mother. She's our mother. So we can reach the Father through the mother often. So it's easier, much easier because she's the compassionate side of Krishna. So it's much easier to worship her than Krishna, and that's why it's recommended to worship Radharani first. Prabhupada recommended that. First worship Srimati Radharani. And then, of course, we in the Gauranga Bolite Hobe, in that bhajan, Prabhupada says, if you please Lord Chaitanya. So we worship Radharani through Gaunitai. Through Gaunitai, we can reach Radharani easier because they're the mercy incarnation also of Radha and Krishna. Lord Chaitanya is mercy incarnation. So as Lord Chaitanya, he's in the mood of Radharani. So he's ready to give mercy. So we worship Lord Chaitanya, it becomes easier. And Nityananda will help us get Lord Chaitanya's mercy also. So through Gaunitai, we can access Radharani. And if you want to understand Radharani, then you have to understand Lord Chaitanya. You have to read Chaitanya Charitamrita, because there Lord Chaitanya explains all the moods of Radharani in his ecstasies.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for the beautiful lecture. I had a question did you told Radharani cures material as well as spiritual disease or spiritual desire?
Spiritual disease. No, not spiritual disease. Material means there's two kinds of disease. Disease of the body.
Okay.
And disease of the heart.
Okay.
So that's material disease. There's no spiritual disease. There's no disease in the spiritual world. There's only, we have, let me see if I can find the exact what it says here, because I think it would be more clear Yeah, I have this book here about Krishna, Radharani's lotus feet. And let me see what they say here about her. Umbrella, bracelet, gold. Creeper, here we go. She is the supreme goddess of herbal medicine. Her feet are the ideal cure for healing diseases of materialism. So, yeah, she is also herbal medicine, which is, Ayurveda. She is the beginning of Ayurveda is Radharani, actually. And then, but also materialism, that material disease.
Okay. Thank you, Mother.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
one more question, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I was just before, used to watch the DVD from Srila Prabhupada's. So in that, there was one Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur once tell around that we are actually behind, we are bhaktas of Radharani, and not Krishna, because we want the service of Krishna through Radharani, right?
That's right.
And even in Barsana and Vrajdam, mostly Radha ji is more dominant, worship than even Krishna.
Oh yeah, yes.
But for us, who are Mishra Bhaktas, it's how to approach Radharani, it's difficult.
Yeah. No, again, it's Gornitai. You have to approach through Gornitai. Understand, because Lord Chaitanya is giving us an insight into the heart of Radharani. And that is, if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita, then you can understand the mood of Radharani, because there everything is explained. So you have to go through Lord Chaitanya.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank
Hare
you very
Krishna.
much for your class and for your darshan. So, Mataji, Krishna has many names, right? And Radharani is her eternal partner. So, does Radharani have also many names? And is Kritika one of her names?
Kritika? I'm not sure about Kritika, but Kritika is definitely an expansion of Radharani, so it could be one of her names. We would have to look up in the scriptures to find out all of her. I'm sure she has as many names as Krishna, because she is identical with Krishna. Yeah, she must have the same. We told a few of them in today's class: Govinda Mohini, Krishna Mai. Yeah, so these are different names of Radharani. But she has like thousands. She must have.
Madan Mohini.
Madan Mohini. Madan Mohan Mohini.
Yeah.
Madan Mohan. She is the chapter of Madan Mohan. Yeah. Yeah. So many names she does have. Yes.
Thank you, Mataji.
I was just thinking how Krishna, we are always referring to him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And, probably Radharani should be called Supreme Personality of Goddess or something like that. Because she's such an important position she has.
Sure.
Anybody else has
Hare
questions?
Krishna Mataji, Dandatana. Yeah, Mataji, Nam Al Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada. Mataji, very thankful for this wonderful class. I really like the definition of, or in fact, the answer. Someone might have asked this question that if Durga, Durga Devi, and you explain it very nicely. She is the mother of our spiritual body, so very wonderful. Also, little query here that we heard about Yogamaya and Mahamaya. We know Mahamaya is Durga Devi, and Yogamaya who connects us with Krishna. So is the same Yogamaya is Radharani, or that's a different personality?
Well, Yogamaya is different. She's Subhadra actually. Or in Krishna Lila, she is, oh, what's her name? That old lady. I forgot her name now actually. Yeah.
Purnamasi?
Yeah, Purnamashi. That's Yogamaya. In Goloka, Purnamashi is Yogamaya. Purnamasi. Yeah. So they are different, but she's an expansion of Radharani. Everyone, all the energies, all the ladies are expansions of Radharani. So in one sense, she's Radharani, but in another sense, she's different. She doesn't act like Radharani with Krishna. She has a whole different personality. In fact, when in Goloka, she's the elderly Brahmani. In Dwarka, she's Subhadra, the sister of Krishna. In Goloka, she's like a guru of Krishna, parental love. But in Dwarka, she's a sister. But her expansion is Mahamaya, actually. So now, in the material world, we suffer we take shelter of Mahamaya. But when we become devotees, that energy changes into Yogamaya. Same energy, but it changes into Yogamaya and helps us to go to Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. That clarifies. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Obeisances.
Hare
Jai Shri
Krishna.
Prabhupada.
Jai.
Thank you so much. Very nice to hear about Radharani, even though it's not Radhastami.
I know.
Normally we hear about Radharani mostly when it's Radhastami. You know, if you can share with us, you have lived in Vrindavan for so long. That means where Radharani is worshipped day and night. And can you share with us your experience of in the land of Srimati Radharani, some sweetness experience that you have had, so that we also can have this nectar a little bit?
Well, the actual sweetness I find is when I go to the temple and see Radhesham. That's the sweetest thing for me. Just seeing Radhesham, because that's the most beautiful Radharani, and she's in charge of Vrindavan. And so when I go there, then I can pray to her face to face, and she answers the prayers, and she smiles, and you see her. If you see her on Radhashtami, she's very special. So that's my sweetness, is having that relationship with Radharani face to face in the temple, and seeing her every day, a different face, a different smile, a different look, and encouraging and inspiring me in my relationship with Krishna and my service to Krishna. So that, and because I was Pujari before in Calcutta, so I have that. That's the way I relate to Radharani, is through the deities, Radha and Krishna. And so, and now you can go to Vrindavan online, so you can see every day daily darshan Vrindavan, and you can see Radharani glancing at you in that way.
I know it's not the same, the online version.
Well, actually, it is the same. I mean, not quite.
No, for our vision, it's not the same.
Mine too.
We have material vision. And if you had to give us a recommendation, a hint, what is the best way to worship Srimati Radharani to please her?
Yeah, well, the best way is to follow the instructions of the Guru, because he knows, the Guru knows how to please Radharani, and that those instructions are coming down from Radha and Krishna to us, Lord Chaitanya, Srila Prabhupada, and that's the best way. Chant 16 rounds every day, follow the 4 regular principles, offer out your food to Krishna. Try to chant Hare Krishna, thinking of Radha and Krishna when you chant, and that will be the best way. Especially the chanting. The chanting is the best, because you're directly calling her Hare.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you.
Mhm. I'm thinking I'll bring Giriraj here now and show you,
Yes.
give you darshan.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm bringing Giriraj.
Okay. Okay. Mataji's top is like, be brave at the back.
Here he is.
Oh, Haribol. Oh my God, we're seeing him after like so many months.
I know.
But those eyes, so beautiful, and the smile. Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful. Thank you.
he's here, still with us.
Beautiful Giriraj.
Yeah. Jai Giriraj.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Mataji, if no one has any questions, then can you please, we still have like...
I have one question. Can I ask?
Oh, you do? Yes, please. I was going to ask her to, share with us some of Prabhupada and her, pastimes. So after your question is answered,
Okay.
Priyanka, we'll go after that.
Hare Krishna Mataji. We all are hoping your health is fine because we missed your association this past year.
So far, it's good. Krishna's mercy. So
good.
far.
We hope to have some personal association this coming year.
I know. Let's see. It's up to Krishna. See, the thing is, I'm trying to go to India, and already they canceled my ticket 3 times.
Oh.
So every 2 months I book it. So next time is February, but India is still not open, so I don't know. Okay. But my ticket is through DC, so I have to come to DC to go out to India. So
we hope to get your personal association.
Until Jan 1st it is closed, Mataji, and after that they will again decide, I think.
Yeah, we will see what is Krishna's plan. So far I'm here.
So Mataji, I had a question about the mood. So when we are praying to Radharani, should we be seeking mercy of Radharani or should we be seeking mercy of Krishna?
No, Radharani, she's our mother, so we should be seeking her mercy. That's what Prabhupada recommends, that we pray to Radharani, and by her mercy, we get the mercy of Krishna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, some of your pastimes with Prabhupada.
Okay, I'll just give you one.
No, we want to hear more. Maybe of your temple experiences also, or your personal experiences with Srimati Radharani.
No, I'll just give you one. I mean, we could do a whole class on that,
Yeah, I know.
That would be a class.
Okay.
That would be a whole class. But I'll just give you one now, because it's a little late for me. I sleep, by 8:30. So, yeah. So I when I was Pujari in Calcutta, Radha Govinda, we had Gaur Radha Govinda on one side and Jagannath on the other side. So in back of the deities, there was an open window. And every day, a bumblebee would come to Radha Govinda, and they would circumambulate, and then they would sit in the lotus flower, because we had 144 lotus flowers every day, big ones, like your head. And so the bee would come and sit. And on Jagannath's side, small bees would come, and they would sit on the garlands of Lord Jagannath. And that was just like description of Vaikuntha, the bees are sitting on the garlands. And in Goloka, the bumblebee is coming. So Prabhupada saw the bees coming, and Prabhupada said, when the bees are coming to the deities, that means Krishna is pleased with the worship. So the bees were coming. One time I was doing Mangalarti, and I turned around to offer the ghee lamp, and there was Prabhupada standing right behind me, 6 inches like. So I didn't know what to do. Should I offer Arti to Prabhupada and then give him, or should I give him the ghee lamp? What should I do? So I did a quick Arti, and then I offered. And whole Mangalarti, he was standing behind me. watching, and I was very concentrated and very nervous. But afterwards, I thought, okay, I should do all my service like that. Prabhupada's standing right behind me watching. Okay. So maybe we can do another class about my experiences with Sri Prabhupada, because it would take a while to tell. I mean, half an hour at least. Half an hour. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Thank you very, very much for taking up the time. And I know
my
you
pleasure
always...
to see you all again. Wow.
It's
a long time. It's been long.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We really look forward to seeing you and getting darshan, Giriraj. Let's hope all goes well this year for everyone. And
yeah, I hope so. I don't know. I'm always every 2 months I'm trying to come.
Right.
But it hasn't worked out so far. So I don't know what it will bring now. End of this month, I will see what happens.
Okay.
But I'm not very hopeful at this point.
But we are not letting you go on Zoom. You coming back again with seminars now. So
okay. Yeah.
So
We will see what happens. We will see what happens.
Okay.
At least I can do some seminars. Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. We'll look forward to that.
Okay.
So Hare Krishna Mataji, it's up to you. I'm going to be singing the Nrsimhadev prayers now, and
Okay. All right. Yeah.
it's up to you if you want to stay.
Okay.
Namaste Narayani Saladhanadayine Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Shiladanganakanaye Nitto Narsingha Yato yato yami tato tato Kaya Narsingharitaye Narsinghanaya Shingomanim Sharanam Kapade Navakaragamanavarena Advatam Singam Narayani Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Kalatmara Jaya Kalatmara Jaya Nita Chitta Jaya Anand Vasudeva Nita Chitta Jaya Anand Vasudeva Jaya Radha Madana Mohan Radha Madana Mohan Radhe Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar Radha Shyam Sundar Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev
Bhakti Vinashak Lakshmi Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki jai. Sarva Vinashak Lakshmi Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki jai. Bhakta Prahlad ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hi, Haribol.
Thank you. Haribol Mataji.
Haribol.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Night.
Hey, Hare Krishna, Nulika, can we have darshan of Nitai Satyasvita, please, if they are not sleeping?
Oh, they are sleeping now, Lalita. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Maybe next time, I promise. I'm not going to put them to sleep before.
Hey, you put them to bed early. They go to sleep early.
Yeah, I know. What happened, it was... Okay, I'll tell you. Sometimes they have... Sometimes we put them to sleep early and you know, then we kind of hang around and then we go and we sleep then.
Okay.
So, yeah, they've gone to sleep. But how... You guys are in the same house, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm somewhere else because we had a guest, you know, in between.
Okay, okay. Yeah, but it's nice to see everybody from your Namat also, and our Namat, you know, devotees also get to see everyone. So it's nice to have
Yes,
you
yes.
guys also join today. Actually, you know what? Mataji has sent 3 topics for seminar. Where's my husband? Haribol, can you? Yeah, can you?
It was to vote on them. They gave it's popped on the screen and
yeah, it did. Yeah, okay. I didn't see the thing. I okay.
am assuming everybody got to choose.
So I put it up on a poll, the 4 topics. And right now, so the topics are Brahma's prayers for mercy, 2 classes, Prahlad's prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev, 3 classes, Sukadev's prayers for empowerment, 2 classes, and Shraddha to Nishtha and beyond, 3 classes. So 15 devotees have voted on this, and right now the leader is Shraddha to Nishtha, which is...
Yeah, me too. So 17.
Okay, so it looks like that's the number 1.
Yeah, let's go to
Shraddha to Nishtha.
Yeah.
So we'll ask Mataji, we'll request Mataji to present on that, hopefully from next week.
Maybe you can also ask her to give us one class on her time with Srila Prabhupada. Remember,
Sure.
She'll make a class out of it.
Yeah, she has many experiences to share. When she starts, then sorry, Rekha, what was that?
Sorry, the bumblebees. It was such a...
Yeah, it's very sweet, right? Yeah, she has many up her sleeves, many of her own personal experiences with deities, with Prabhupada. And we have to just prod her a little bit and then she will start and then she can share so much. It's just sweetness.
Yes. So if we can have one now, at least one class.
Sure, we can request her that. Yeah, it's so nice to see everyone. Happy New Year. That was a nice start.
Yes, we got Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you. So it's nice to see Neha's family, everyone. And Pat, how come you were so quiet? You were the one who came up with the topic.
Thank you for organizing. I am speechless, wordless.
Yeah, I hope you, your questions or your curiosity, something got, curiosity was appeased, questions got answered about Srimati Radharani. Mataji is an embodiment of, devotion. And of course, she has so much knowledge. And of course, besides, her own bhakti for her Giriraj and, deities. And so she's a very amazing soul, very amazing.
Yep.
Good to Akshay, that was an excellent question. And Saran Prabhu, I liked your question also. The way you caught her there. It is nice.
So she was so she was present when Prabhupada was there?
Yeah.
I've never met somebody who has met Prabhupada.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
You haven't you seen our Guru Maharaj? You've talked to him. You don't remember Rampad Maharaj meeting? I have a picture of you talking to him.
That was a very short. I didn't know that. Apology for my memory.
Yeah, that was 2000 something. But yeah, you've met him, and yeah, she's a direct disciple of Srila Prabhupada, initiated by him. So she's had personal experiences. Lalit, Saran Prabhu was saying something.
No, I say I'm here. And also she has a lot of him and Brijan Prabhu, they started Srimad Bhagavatam in VIHE. They have a lot of classes and very sweet, short classes that if you go on VIHE.com, I think it's there.
Right.
So very, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go on the
Many
audio
seminars.
recording. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they have it on the audio recordings. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I've heard some of them. Yes.
And
Good
then
to see
also-
you, Rajradha.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
I'm glad you joined today. Yeah. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so we are let's wrap up now. Mataji's already gone to sleep. Maybe we should also.
Yes.
Oh, Sachi, baby is here. Hari bol, Sachi.
Kar. काय करत होती कर? Playing the flute.
Playing the flute, okay.
Playing or eating.
Everything combined together.
That's pacifier combined.
Okay, I heard that. Nice. Now, which cow are you calling?
Are you okay?
Geeta and Vani.
बदमाश हो गई है बहुत और भी बदमाश हो गई है
बहुत ज्यादा
अदिति के दर्शन नहीं हुए अभी
Aditi. That's what Sachi calls her, Aditi.
Aditi, okay. Chalo. Okay, everyone. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Avinash Prabhu. Good to see you. I just saw you. Rita Mataji is there?
TV.
I can't hear you. You're on mute.